this is Michael from Xplore Xpeng. On the Facebook Xpeng G6 UK group, I was asked if I could do a video on customizing the driver's dashboard screen. There's a few different things you can change on there to get it how you like it. So today I'm going to be showing you how to do that. Okay, so one of the first simple things you can do on that driver's dashboard is you can alter the brightness. So to do that, you can either do it via voice or via the infotainment screen. So let's show you the infotainment screen first. Go into driver settings and let's go to display. Now you see we have touchscreen brightness and dashboard brightness. We can set them to auto. Now currently I'm sat in my cart lodge here, it's a little bit dark, so when I set it to auto it does darken down the display of the touchscreen and also the dashboard screen. You can alter the dashboard screen with your finger, and as you can see there, that brightens that up all the way up, and that one is halfway, and that's all the way down, very dark. If you're set to auto, the screens will adjust with night and daytime, and that's a pretty good setting to have. Although I do find if I have sunglasses on, then I need to brighten it up. So the easiest way to do that, rather than go into the infotainment screen, is by voice. So we can either press the button on the steering wheel here, which I find a lot easier than saying, "Hey Xpeng,
hello,
dashboard brightness 100%.
The instrument has been adjusted to the brightest setting.
And you notice there the bar is now all the way up to the top and the screen has gone very bright. The other way is to press the button here.
Hey,
Dashboard brightness 75%.
dashboard brightness is adjusted.
So as you can see, you can adjust that really finely by 1% intervals. Doing that by voice is really handy whilst you're driving. So that's the first simple way of customizing your screen. The main way is to change the layout of the screen and the information that's displayed on there. So if you think of the screen as 3 columns, a left column, middle column and a right column, there's different information you can show on there. So currently I have on the left a lot of stats about the consumption, distance travelled, etc., the dynamic range at the bottom and the percentage of the battery left. On the right I have my music radio station showing on there, the drive mode individual, the temperature outside and the time. At the top it shows them in park and the lights are on. Let's turn those off.
I'm listening.
Headlights off.
Low beam headlights are off.
Okay, and there's a little symbol there shows that I haven't got my seatbelt on. In the middle section we have the drive mode, park, and a 3D image of the car. So if we want to change the left and right columns, it's quite easy. The scroll wheel, you can hold that down for a couple of seconds. You notice now the display on the left has gone slightly smaller and there's a black dot with some greyed out dots. Now if I scroll up and down, it goes from the information I had to, that's normally a bar of your energy usage. That's since startup, so that's not showing anything at the moment. I have been out this morning already, but that needs to see a current journey, if you like, to show those stats. So whilst you're driving, that will show your energy in a sort of line chart. Just press that down again. It times out after 10 seconds or so. It'll stay set to where you are. You can either press the button again to set it where you are, or as I say, it will time out after 10 seconds or so. So if we scroll down the next one, we have the tyre pressures on all 4 corners, scroll down again and we go to the top, and that shows you the drive mode and what gear you're in, and also shows the lane centering that you may be operating at the time. Scroll down again, you get the radio, which is what I've got on the right hand column. Scroll down again and you get the navigation. Now, currently that's not showing me anything because I've not got a navigation set in. So if I set one in now,
Hey there.
take me to Benton Hall Golf Club. Somewhere I go
Okay.
quite regularly.
Which one do you want to go?
Okay, so if we select a nav and start,
At the end of the road, turn right onto the B184.
so now you can see in that left hand column it's actually got my navigation. So we've got it on the main screen, but we've also got it, a smaller version, on the driver's dashboard screen. That will show the immediate navigation, blue line, shows you a little image which is the same as this image here on the main screen of your next turn or junction that's coming up, roundabout, etc. So if you wanted to have other information on the main screen, that little navigation display on the driver's dashboard is really useful. You can also, if you're using CarPlay or Android Auto, you can also show Waze in that position. So that's really helpful. Although, just thinking about it, I think I have seen people saying that on Android Auto, it only shows turn by turn lined or text directions, not the actual map. So yeah, perhaps someone can let me know on that in the comments below. So that's really useful if you use CarPlay navigation, then you can have that on the driver's display as well. So if we hold down again and scroll down one more, that brings us back to the stats that I had at the start. Okay, so on the right hand side, it's exactly the same. Hold the right hand wheel down on your steering wheel and scroll through from the radio to the navigation, to the stats, and the energy chart, tyre pressures, drive mode, etc. So yeah, you can really get the display to how you want it. So the middle section can display two different things. Currently it's on the real-time SR assist, which shows a 3D image of the car as I'm parked up. If you've already driven the car, you'll know that as you're driving, it will show you the car in a lane and cars ahead, people walking past. If you're on a dual carriageway, it will show the two lanes, and when you're doing the automatic lane change, it displays it all on there. You can change that. So again, if we hold down the left or right wheel, doesn't matter, and instead of scrolling, if we use the top left and right buttons, you'll notice it currently says Smart Drive Mode and there's two arrows either side, right and left. I can scroll it to Map Mode, so it gives you navigation there, or back to Smart Drive Mode. Okay, so there you go, quite customizable in different ways. Get it how you want it. You might want the nav in the middle, left or right, you can do all that. Different stats you might want to display, music or whatever is on your media. If you're playing Spotify, that also appears on the right there. So if I set this back to how I normally have it, I normally have my music on the right. So if I now change music to Spotify, play, I'll turn that down so I don't get a copyright strike. But you now see on the right hand side there, it shows the Spotify music that I'm playing there. Similarly, if I go to Bluetooth, again that shows the music that is on my Bluetooth from my phone. So really customizable. Driver's display. People ask whether the car has a heads-up display. Personally, this is great. Very customizable. I don't think you'd be able to do all that on a heads-up display. Tell me if I'm wrong. So yeah, quite a simple, straightforward video showing you briefly how to get the driver's display exactly as you want it. Brightness, different items in the 3 different columns. So I hope that's been useful to you. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. Anything I've got wrong there or missed out, please tell me. We're always learning here. Down below there's some links that might be useful to you, so please check those out. And if you can drop a like, hit subscribe, that'd be amazing. The channel's growing quite quickly, so appreciate all your support. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.